Hello and welcome everybody to today's very special session presented by the Gold and Silver Club, How to Trade the US Election, by myself, Phil Carr, at the Gold and Silver Club. So during today's session, we will of course be covering live market analysis, how we expect the markets will move, a watch list of trading opportunities, an overview of the commodity markets, and of course we'll cover our top trades over the last week as well. So before we get into it, let me introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. The Gold and Silver Club is the #1 commodities trading and investment coaching company. We're regarded as the go-to authority on commodities trading, as internationally respected experts. Our analysis and our opinions on the metals, the energies, and the agricultural markets, they're routinely sought by major financial television channels and publications, which include Bloomberg, Reuters, CNBC, the Financial Times, the Wall Street Journal. Our team of experts has trained and mentored over 125,000 private traders from all over the world to increase their wealth and generate substantial income through commodities using our exclusive research-driven strategies. So for more information on the Gold and Silver Club and our expertise, please visit our website, which is at www.thegoldandsilverclub.com. Okay, so today's session will be very much focused, of course, on the US election and why the US election is expected to be one of the biggest trading opportunities of 2016. On the 8th of November, so next Tuesday, US voters will head to the polls to cast their votes and elect the 45th president of the United States. Now, despite the euphoria in the Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump camps, there remains a great deal of uncertainty about the outcome of that election, what it will mean for the United States and the global economies. Even with the rise of China and Russia, the US is still a major force that sets the pace for the rest of the world and has the power to unleash significant volatility across the global financial markets next week. Now, whilst no one knows what the outcome or how markets will respond, uncertainty tends to make markets highly volatile. And volatility equals opportunity, and the key is knowing how to use that to your advantage. So when do the results come in? Next week, voting takes place on November the 8th, and the results are expected to start coming in during the early hours of the night. The global financial markets will be volatile in the run-up and immediately after, particularly once the markets know the result. The market will open in November the 9th to the knowledge of who the new president will be. Now, at the moment, especially since last Friday, where the FBI have reopened their investigation into Hillary Clinton and her emails, this has caused some significant volatility over the last few days. In fact, we saw the volatility index spike over the course of this week by 10%. We've also seen a 5% move to the upside on silver, big moves on gold, and of course global equities have sold off as well. The latest tracking poll released today shows that Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are now neck and neck in a tight race, in less than a week away from the election, which is a considerable change to just over a week ago. And this has caused, of course, a lot more uncertainty in the markets. So which candidate has the most voter enthusiasm at the moment? Well, a key indicator that is powerful to determining candidate support is voter enthusiasm. The latest voter enthusiasm poll released today shows voter enthusiasm for Clinton has dropped 7 points in the last week, and voter enthusiasm for Trump has now climbed by 6 points, and that's been significant. So how are the markets reacting to the current election and enthusiasm polls? Well, here's a look at what happened over the last week when the FBI reopened their probe into Clinton's email usage. So you can see here where over the last week, what we've seen is a rise in the volatility index, and we've seen US equities sell off. So we've seen this very clear, direct, inverse correlation as equities have sold off, as market anxiety has increased, which we talked about on last week's session, and I'll break it down for you in terms of the volatility index very shortly. Now, with that news last week, the FBI announcement, this is where we saw gold surge, okay? This is last Friday where we've now seen a 5% move to the upside, gold surging over 5% after the FBI reopens Hillary Clinton email investigation. So that has been significant. And you can see very clearly the move that has created on the volatility index, gold and silver. And that really sets the stage for what could potentially happen to the markets if Donald Trump was to win the election. You've already get a good idea idea of how gold and silver will likely to react to that news. Now, here's why the US election is not a one-off trading opportunity. It can be viewed as a long-term trading opportunity as well. Now, we'll break it down and we'll have a look at some of the opportunities that we have coming up at the moment. So we'll have a look. This is our watch list and we'll break it down. We'll go into more detail and show you the exact opportunities which we see developing over the course of this week as we go into next week as well. So one of the first trades I want to highlight to you, or the watch list right now, is going to be platinum. So platinum has just come off a major underlying level of support. We've retraced now, following on from Brexit, where we broke out to 1-year highs. Platinum has retraced over 2,500 points. Now, as of last week, we got a significant pop alongside gold and silver, where it has found major support back down at the 925 zone, and it's since rallied over 600 points. I would definitely have platinum on your radar here. It's become significantly oversold more recently. It has found support at a major key underlying level here, and it has the potential for some explosive upside here in the weeks and the months to come. So platinum, certainly for a mid to long term trade, I would have that on your radar. Now, this is what has happened with silver following on from last week on Friday, from the FBI reinvestigation into Hillary Clinton. We've seen silver now pop above its consolidation, where it held above the 200-day moving average, the 50% Fibonacci level, and a major underlying trend channel. We finally had that pop to the upside, a 5% gain in a very short period of time. And now we're going to be watching very closely for the next move here, whether we will get a full-on breakout of this pennant formation in the weeks to come, possible revisit of the lower end of the trend channel before it does that. But we'll have a look and break that down for you very shortly. But silver, you can already see, has responded significantly to this news. Silver remains one of the best performing commodities in 2016, and gold just yesterday broke back above 1,300 US dollars per ounce, also finding support at 1,250 US dollars, which was a major underlying level of support. That was the level that was tested just prior to Brexit, and we've now rallied just over about 500 points now, and we're at also a major zone here where we'll be looking to see whether we get follow through as we get into next week, or possibly a retest of the lower end of the trend channel. But either way, we've got some explosive moves which could be coming up. And also note where we're in the context of oil. This is oil on the weekly chart. We've recently revisited the lower end of the trend channel, found major underlying support at this zone between 45 to 46 US dollars per barrel. We're getting into a short-term oversold condition on oil. US crude oil stockpiles soared more than 14 million barrels last week. It's the largest weekly build since the US Energy Department started keeping records back in 1982. So we're also at a major zone here with oil as well. Now, I'll break it down for you before we go into the charts in terms of the performance year to date. So the number one best performing commodity so far this year is orange juice, actually up over 49%. But that is followed by sugar, which is up 34%. And then in third place is silver. So given the 5% move that we've had over the last few days on silver, it's now up just under 30% in 2016. That is still a significant gain. Silver is still in a bull market. Gold is also still up 20% for this year. So traders, investors, funds who've been long at the beginning of the year would be sitting in the region of a 20% profit on this trade right now. They're certainly still in bull markets. However you want to look at it, do technical analysis on them. If you have a look at the performance so far this year, they still remain in bull markets. They've transitioned from a bear market to a bull market in 2016. And they've recently just come off 50% retracements, especially with silver, which will break it down for you very shortly when we look at the chart. Coffee has also been a good performer, up 20% now this year. We saw a breakout over a week and a half ago, breaking back above the 20-month highs with some good follow through at that level. Palladium still up 11% on this year, and platinum still up 9% with potential for further upside here as well. So with all of that said, we'll go into the technicals and then we'll go through our top trades, which we've had over the last week here as well. So I will start off, and first of all, we'll have a look at the volatility index. So those of you who are on last week's session will recall we talked about the calm before the storm on the volatility index. And this is the volatility index with a number of different indicators which we utilize at the Gold and Silver Club. And you can see here where over the last week, it's come right out of this support zone. In fact, Friday, the FBI investigation and probe into Hillary Clinton's emails has been the catalyst for a break back from the lower end of the trend channel. We've seen good support, significant rally here, and you can see over the last few days where we've come back from support on a number of different indicators, and we are back towards the resistance zones going back to August here. It's broken out quite significantly to 7-week highs here on the VIX. Now, also note what the VIX did over the course of this year at other major news items. This is the breakout that we had over the course of Brexit. We had a significant move higher. At the beginning of the year, when we had one of the worst performing weeks for the stock markets, global equities in January, we had this increased move on the VIX as well. Volatility Index increased significantly. And then prior to that as well, going back to August last year, where we saw a huge move to the downside on global equities. Again, this is where the VIX shot up significantly. I would definitely be watching out for this. Obviously, uncertainty in the markets, unpredictability causes the VIX to go up. And you've got a very clear inverse correlation there with the equities and also a strong correlation with gold and silver. So we've seen the S&P 500 on volatility, fear in the market increasing, has now broken down. It broke through the 2100 zone just yesterday. You can see pennant formation has broken lower. We've been rolling over now with the S&P 500 for the last couple of months, going back to September here, where it's failed to break out from this trend channel. And then over this week has really been where we've had the breakdown, breaking through key support back towards the lows of July here. And you can see where we're just getting very close to a retest of the 200-day moving average, but ultimately we closed below support yesterday. And you can see that very clearly with increased uncertainty, with a possible Trump victory, what we could be in store for on equities, on volatility. And then, of course, we've had a breakout on both gold and silver over the last few days as well. So gold broke back above 1,300 US dollars yesterday. It's currently sitting at 1,293 US dollars, which I'll come back to in a second. We can just move over now and have a look at silver too. So silver has broken back up towards its upper end of a trend channel, formed a rejection candle yesterday, pulled back after the FOMC statement, which left interest rates unchanged. However, they did hint that they would be in a position to increase interest rates in December, the Reserve, if we were to see additional strong data coming out from the US. Now, of course, we've got non-farm payrolls tomorrow. We've got several news items coming out over the course of the US session today. We'll be watching this very carefully. Now, ideally, for those of you who might be looking to position yourself with some breakout trades on the precious metals as we go into the US election, uncertainty and so forth, we welcome pullbacks at the moment on the precious metals. It's got into a short-term overbought condition. You can see here where silver has reached the upper end of a trend channel. Note where it found support exactly at the 50% Fibonacci retracement level. We found support at the 200-day moving average. We consolidated throughout the whole of October, and then we created a pop to the upside, popped above this level just at the beginning of the week on Monday and Tuesday. In fact, Monday created an inside candle, Tuesday pop higher. We've continued to follow this trade through, following on from non-farm payrolls at the beginning of this month. We've still got a position on silver. We took some profits yesterday when we hit our initial profit target at the upper end of this trend channel, but we are holding on to a trade here as well, just in case we get a runaway move prior to the election. We'll see what happens with non-farm payrolls tomorrow as well. So just to break it down for you, we'll go a little bit deeper here as well, just have a look at the overall price structure for these markets right now. So silver right now, you can see on a raw chart where we popped out of this pennant formation, had a pop back towards previous resistance, which is at the 1850 zone, pulled back from that area. Now what we might find is this previous resistance zone, which broke out from, may become support. We just hold at this zone and then we get ready for our next leg higher, or we could get a further rotation back towards 17 US dollars per ounce here, dependent probably on non-farm payrolls tomorrow as well. Again, I wouldn't mind to see a further pullback on here, maybe even breaching 17, just taking out some stop losses, flushing out some stops below that level before the potential for a larger move higher, or we'll just follow through, hold around $18, and we could see silver just continue to consolidate at this zone and get ready for a spike higher. We won't rule out the opportunity and possibility for gold and silver to correct if we see dollar strength. If we go over to the US dollar, it does seem to be in the midst of a correction. We've been rolling over for the last week. We talked about this last week, where the US dollar had found resistance after it broke out to 8-month highs. It's broken down for about the last 4 or 5 sessions, formed a rejection candle so far today, but it really depends whether we get a bit more movement and move back towards the 50-day moving average. I would say we're still in an overbought condition where the US dollar index could break down lower before it goes higher. Now, of course, we have a lot happening over the next couple of weeks here. Now, November, typically from a seasonality perspective, does tend to favor upside with the metals. I'll be looking out for that. And of course, as we get past the US election, you want to know not only how to trade the US election, how to trade after the US election, and also as we go into the FOMC statement, which will be in December too, especially if we see an interest rate on the table for the December FOMC statement. We could see some really big shifts in the market as well. And it's just being prepared for that, knowing how to get through this volatility successfully and maximizing your trading potential and profitability as well. So the volatility index, certainly one to be watching here as well. I would also be aware of the 10-year bonds right now, which did find support last week, broke out to the upside, pulling back a bit today, watching this carefully too to see if we can follow through or whether we'll get a rotation lower. Another market which will probably just put on your radar at the moment is sugar, which has been the second best performing commodity over 2016. So currently, if we look at sugar, it's up 34% this year. It has had a corrective pullback where previous resistance seems to become support, the 21 zone. It's finding support at that level at the moment. Number of our research driven indicators are showing that we could get another pop higher from this point. So I do like the potential for a trade on sugar here as well. So I will just put that on your radar as well. So again, guys, just in terms of the breakdown as we go into the US election next week, the best way, the sort of trading opportunities that we are looking at as we go into that is going to be based on what we see happening with the volatility index, the inverse correlation with equities, gold, silver, and platinum. I would definitely have on your watch list. And then beyond that, I would also have oil on the radar as well, because oil right now has come back down. It's testing a major underlying area of support. I would just bring that chart out for you so you can just have a look at that more clearly. Yeah, oil at the moment, you can see we've all the way back down to a major underlying support zone, currently sitting at $45.70 per barrel here. I'm looking for value between $40 up to $45 per barrel at the moment. I see short term we're getting into an overbought condition. We've got the OPEC meeting, which is taking place on Wednesday, the 30th of November. I'm looking at two ways in this trade, actually at three possibilities. So I'm looking either for a retracement back towards the upper end of this trend channel, could provide a short-term rotation and opportunity on lower timeframes to trade that retracement, and then there could also provide an opportunity to go short if we see that just get sold back into and then look for an opportunity to sell. Also, if we continue to grind lower here, and particularly if we take out the swing low previously sitting around $45 per barrel here on the chart, what we might see then, if we break the swing low here, then certainly we could start to see a deeper correction form on oil as well. So I'm really just waiting for a bit of confirmation. We're at a major underlying level of support. I want to see which way oil is going to go and then trade it appropriately. Okay, so that is what we're looking at as we go into the US election. So again, just a quick update on the trade watch list for you all. These are the trades that we are watching as we go into next week. So first of all, platinum, then we'll be looking at silver, then we'll be looking at gold and also oil. Those are the top trades. We've got other setups in other commodities which we are currently in. We've got longer term positions as well in some of the agricultural markets, but in terms of the precious metals and energies, those are some of the best trading opportunities. And of course, the volatility index will be worth noting too. Now, in terms of our top trades over the last week, using our exclusive research-driven strategies, those have included platinum, where we've caught this breakout trade from the lower end of this major underlying support, 420-point breakout, trading it back to short-term resistance. Now we're getting in an overbought condition on platinum in the short term. Coffee, we also caught the breakout to 20-month highs here for 160-point gain. We saw coffee last week rise by over 5%, and that was a really decent surge to the upside. Now, if you would like access to highly profitable live trade ideas shared with you, ready to implement for instant results, you can, of course, get access to all of our services at the Gold and Silver Club. All you need to do is go to www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com. We are running a very special joining bonus at the moment for those of you who will be making an application prior to the US election next week. Now, the sooner the better to get in touch about that. But essentially, all you want to do is go to www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com, complete the application form, and we will get in touch with you ASAP. Who's it for? what sort of services do you get access to? Well, essentially, if you're a new trader, you want to develop a solid understanding of the markets and fast track your results, or even if you are an experienced trader, but you're looking to take your trading to that next level, the private members live trading room is definitely something to consider. Now, it includes the following. You get live trading room webinars, so you can watch the Gold and Silver Club expert traders analyze the markets right in front of you, picking out highly profitable trade ideas, trade setups, sharing exact entry, exit, stop loss, profit targets, as well as talk you through our live trade ideas ready to implement. As well as that, you get trade notifications via email and SMS, so you don't miss profitable trades. You get alerted when we're entering a position, any trade management around positions. All notifications are sent out in advance notice to make sure you've got lots of time to get into each position at the best price for maximum profits. And you get commodity research and market insights, our week ahead trading plans. Private members get exclusive access to our proprietary trading research and market insights, to help boost your win rate and ensure you're on the right side of every trade. So our trading research is there to give you the ultimate edge in the commodity markets and fast track your results. So again, as a member, you get access to exclusive weekly live trading room webinars, live trade setups ready to implement for instant results, real-time notifications via email and SMS so you don't miss out on profitable trades, exact details of where to enter, exit, place a stop loss, exactly what we are doing. We share that with you. Weekly trading plan with a watch list of trade ideas for the week ahead, live trade support to help you through each trade, and institutional level trading research and commodity insights to give you the ultimate edge in the market. So again, all you need to do to get exclusive access to our private members live trading room is go to www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com, complete the application form, and we will of course get in touch with you ASAP. Okay, fantastic. So with that, guys, I don't think there's any additional questions at this point. So I definitely wish you all good trading as we go into the US election. We will be covering the post-election next Thursday as well with you all. So I wish you all good trading, all the best. We'll definitely speak to you very soon. And of course, I very much look forward to working with those of you who will be making an application to join us at the Gold and Silver Club ahead of next week's US election. Okay, fantastic. So all the best, guys. Speak soon. Take care. Bye-bye.